So if you don't like tomatoes, you might not like this video. It's got a lot of tomatoes in it. Hey, hooray, my name is Regina, and if you've never been here before, I am on a weight loss journey to lose 100 pounds. I am currently in a wheelchair and I need to lose that so I can have weight loss surgery. I am going to be making today a tomato and shallot and garlic scrambled eggs. I was never a big fan of tomatoes growing up as a kid. It took me going to Italy to really enjoy them. In Morocco, they have amazing homegrown tomatoes, and ever since then I've really loved them in my eggs. So I'm going to go ahead and make that today. The first thing we're going to do is take a piece of garlic and we're going to cut that up. So in order to get it flat, you need to take your knife and slam it down like that. And then cut off the ends. I have a pretty big bulb here, so I think I'm just going to use half. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty garlicky. Anyway, we're going to take that, smash it. Now, as you can see, it's still pretty, if you look up close, it's still pretty round. And in order to get good cuts, what you need to do is take your knife again and use your palm and smash it down. So if you can see, you probably can't see very well, it's smashed down. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this up. I love garlic. I love fresh garlic. I rarely use garlic powdered, occasionally, because this is so good for your health. Fresh garlic. Okay, so I take the green part out. Somebody taught me that a long time ago, take the green part out. So now I'm going to cut this in big chunks, and then I'm going to dice it. So I'm going to dice it. Okay. Do that a couple times. You want to make sure that you get a really fine dice. Otherwise, when you bite into the eggs, it's going to be like a big taste of garlic, and that's not good. That doesn't make you want to eat tomatoes and garlic and shallots, does it? Okay. All right. Almost done. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that dice for the garlic. I'm going to go ahead and put it into a little ramekin here. I like to do what's called mise en place. I like to have everything prepared. I don't like to cut and then throw it into the pan. I much prefer to have everything ready. That way, you can just 1, 2, 3 do it. So get that done first. I'm going to get my mise en place together. The next thing we're going to do is a shallot. A shallot, if you've never seen one, it took me a while to understand what a shallot was. It's just a little baby onion. And the nice thing about it is it has a very mild flavor to it. And so it doesn't overpower things. I like these a lot. I use these a lot in dishes. I'm not a big fan. I like a red onion, but sparingly. I would rather use like a white onion and things. There's actually, I didn't realize this, but one time I went online to check out what the difference is between the different onions, and there's a lot of difference. The way you use them makes all the difference in how something tastes. So if you ever have a recipe and it says, oh, you need white onion, and you don't have it, you could use a shallot, I guess, or white onion, but just know that the taste is going to be a little different. So try, if you can, to use what the recipe calls for. So let's go ahead in terms of that. I mean, I know it's not always perfect, but if you can plan ahead and have what you need for your recipes, that's good. The one thing I liked when I lived in Morocco, especially, is that there was a fresh market outside, and you could just go out the street and you could get garlic and onions and any vegetable you wanted, pretty much, and it wasn't expensive. I wish the United States had more of those kind of things. Where I live in the suburbs here, the Midwest, we don't really have that available. We have farmers markets, but you have to buy everything in bulk. So you have to buy for the week. which is okay probably, right? But it's nice to have, just get it fresh every day and not overbuy. Sometimes when I buy produce, I notice that I buy too much and then it goes bad. And I really, really don't like that. So, it'd be nice to have a little fruit market outside or a vegetable market. So anyway, I'm going to get these shallots cut up fine dice again. Basically, we're just cutting them over and over again. These are so nice. They don't have like this massive smell that some other onions do. Like I said, the red onion, that's the strongest one, I believe. Just by that. So, okay, so we got the onion ready. I'm going to go ahead and put that in my little dish here. My scallion, sorry, not my onion. Shallot, not my scallion. A scallion is a whole different onion. It's a little different taste as well. I believe it's more mild than a shallot. So I need to get me one of those little scraper things like Rachel Ray has. All right, so we've got our garlic. Sorry, got our shallots. We have our garlic. And the next thing I'm going to do is cut up my basil because I want to do the tomatoes last. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of this basil chopped up. A good way to do this is to take the basil and put it together like a cigar. Okay, see this? And then you roll it up, and then you can get chiffonade, called a chiffonade basil cut, and that's nice in recipes like this. So we're going to cut it. I think that would be good in the salad. I'm going to cut that up a little bit more. At least I got it going here. And it stayed in one place so I can get better cuts. I'm looking forward to growing some basil and tomatoes this summer. I'm going to go out this weekend and get some stuff to put in my garden. I'm really excited about that. Have that ready to go. Okay, here's my basil. We're going to go ahead and put that in here. So I'm going to use my knife. But be careful with chef knives. They have a way of cutting you back, so make sure you don't touch the edge. I've learned my lesson a few times. Okay. All right, so we have that, and the last thing we're going to cut up is our tomatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and get a spot here. And I'm just going to take these. I'm just going to do one, but basically what I do is I take the one. I like smaller bites of a tomato. I don't like big chunks of it. So I'm going to cut it in half. And then I'm going to cut it in half again. So I got my tomatoes are quartered. And then I'm going to cut them again. I'm going to cut them again in the half here and again in half here. And that's that, and maybe a little bit more here. So it looks, can you see it? It's just kind of cut in like smaller pieces. So that's it. I'm gonna finish this up, and then we're gonna go to the stove. We're gonna scramble our eggs, and we're gonna make the tomato base first, and then put our eggs over top of it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and make my scrambled eggs with the tomatoes, the basil, the garlic, and the shallots. I've gone ahead and put 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the pan and 1 whole shallot that I cut up, and it's just cooking away a little bit here. I have it on just below medium. I don't like it too hot because I don't want it to burn, and it's good for the eggs. It's good for them to cook slowly, otherwise they'll get rubbery. So I want to keep everything basically at the same temperature because they're going to all work together. And that smells so good. So let's go ahead and get this going. this all yummy dummy. I just need to hear that sizzle, and then I can time it for like a minute or so. So are you, as everyone, excited for summer coming? It's going to be great. Got the hot weather, the pools, the festivals here in Iowa. A lot of things going on. I can't wait for summer. I can't wait to grow things. I come alive in the summertime. I like winter, but summer really is the best. I wonder what's your opinion about that? What's your favorite season? Do you have 4 seasons? Some places don't. Okay. I'm gonna let this saute for about another minute, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add my garlic, then my tomatoes. Actually, I'm gonna actually add my tomatoes right now because they can withstand a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those in. I diced up those yummy cherry tomatoes. You can see here. So it smells so good. I wish we had smell-o-vision so you could smell these. And they're chopped really fine like I like them, so they're not too much of a bite of tomato when you bite into the eggs. Okay. Just want to make sure my stove is really, yep, it's going. We really need a new stove. This one is not very reliable. Okay, so we're going with this. Our tomatoes all cooked up. Okay. Let's go in there. Okay, so I'm gonna let it cook just a little bit longer. I want the tomatoes to kind of like turn almost like jam a little bit. I don't want them to be too crunchy because I don't like that. Okay. Now I'm going to add my aromatics. So I'm going to put the garlic in there that I chopped up. I'm going to go ahead and do that. But we don't want to overcook garlic, so let that be your last thing when you're cooking these eggs. I'm going to go ahead and post a recipe at the end so you can have a much better handle on how I did this, the quantities, and the cooking time for all of the different things. Okay, so I'm just taking my spatula and I'm just melding everything together. I'm going to cook it just for like under a minute, I guess. Smelling so delicious. Mm. Okay, so I've got my tomatoes in there. I've got my garlic in there. I'm gonna put a little bit more of it fell on the side here. Okay. I think I'm gonna turn this heat up. We're gonna go with medium. Medium on this heat, please. Just really need to make sure that they cook and that it's warm. So it's gonna be a minute. This is probably something I'm used to cooking, so I do it every day. But you know, if you're new to cooking and you want to try something that's good and healthy for you, you know, give yourself a weekend to do this, to learn, to cut up all your ingredients. You know, we don't want to be stressed or in a hurry to get to work because we didn't make our food right. So we're going to go ahead and get that going. Okay, so I like the way that looks now, so I'm going to go ahead and add my my basil. And I like to do, and I think, oh gosh. Get that on there. I'm going to stir the basil around, and I'm going to add some salt and pepper, just a little bit. Okay, so I like to measure things because I'm trying to keep my sodium under a certain amount. So I'm going to take just a 1/4 teaspoon for 2 people of salt. Just dazzle that in there. It helps the tomatoes a lot to put salt on them. And a little bit of pepper. Again, I'm going to do maybe an 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper. Doesn't matter. The pepper doesn't matter, but the salt does. I guess the pepper would matter if you put too much in and then it became too hot. So let's get that. Let's get this going. Let's get this basil all nice and good smelling. Okay. All right. So that's looking very good. You can see that in there. It's kind of reduced a little bit. Okay, so now I'm gonna add the eggs. And I like to use cage-free eggs if possible. I don't know what's in regular eggs. They claim there's antibiotics. There's yucky stuff in there, so I like to try to use the cage-free organic eggs if possible. I'm gonna go ahead and get my eggs in there. Okay. Is it the food already? Okay. And then all we're gonna do is scramble these together. Okay, so when we get back, I'm going to show you the finished product, and then that'll be it. I'm just going to put the feta on at the end. Okay. Okay, so these are my eggs. I've gone ahead and put the feta cheese in. I'm just kind of melting it up here. I'm excited. I love feta cheese. Supposedly it's healthy for you. I don't know. I think everything's healthy for you in moderation. We're going to see, right? Okay, so that's it. It's done. I'm going to go ahead and plate it, and I'll be back. This is the final product. I went ahead and put the eggs in. I have my 3 Wassa crackers. Those are a really good option if you like bread and you don't want to have a lot of calories. These are 3 for 60 calories. So I'm going to go ahead and eat this, and then I will go ahead and later on in the day put the recipe in the description so you can follow along. All right, well, thanks so much, and you have a wonderful day. Enjoy the sunshine. Bye.